and basically wondering whether the 10-year-old boy who went to Germany was the same 10-year-old boy who came back from Germany. For a start, although he never quite got it right, he spoke very much like my mother. In case I haven't made it clear, my mother came from a long line of wealthy Masons, Freemasons. And you might imagine her accent, I suppose. My father emulated it, never quite got it right, and often corrected her pronunciation incorrectly, something I've picked up. So whereas at one time I spoke perfect English, it's not perfect anymore. Because father always had to be right, of course. But what struck me just earlier was I've already said he avoided all his Lancashire relatives, never returned to Lancashire. What was left of his family, his mother, sister, and himself, moved to Yorkshire on return from abroad. And I confess that I can't be certain whether my aunt's accent is Yorkshire or Lancashire, but I can testify that it is nothing remotely like my father's. It is one or other. She would have been, I think, a girl when they returned. So it's more likely that she picked up the Yorkshire accent. Whereas my father went to Bishop Cotton, the Eton of the East, which may have had something to do with his BBC English, as it used to be. More or less. But not quite spot on, as I say. He was always very, very anxious about correct grammar, correct this, correct that. Wouldn't allow my brother or I to pick up the Hampshire accent, although it would have served us well to do so. My children and grandchildren have it. Anyone who is even slightly different in school will be bullied, and of course, if you speak as I do and you're in a school full of Hampshire hogs, you will be bullied. There were other reasons as well, of course, such as the fact that I was constantly ill and away from school. And had no idea how to interact with other children. Just thinking about the fact that my father avoided his Lancashire relatives, including a cousin whom he mentioned in a letter, and her children and grandchildren. Although I do remember hearing the name of one of them, Vanessa. The cousin herself was called Kathleen. Even his grandmother was alive until the year before I was born, and he never mentioned her. I have no reason to think he ever visited her between his return from abroad in 46 and her death in 53. That would be his father's mother, by the way, a widower, who had also lost her son. You might think that he would be, she would have appreciated seeing her grandson. And great-grandson, i.e. my brother. But no, apart from my grandmother, his mother, father's mother, and his sister, I never saw a single member of his family. and neither did he, to my knowledge. At least not the Lancashire branch, but the London branch, something else again. I still wonder if I've come at the thing up arse backwards, and Desmond Oakley, the Lancashire Desmond Oakley, never existed after the family left Germany. It never actually existed at all. I wonder if the man who came back was in fact German. And then there's the calligraphy, which I did also mention in the book. I will get that bloody thing published.